Adult Swim has quite a very extensive library. Many of their shows are regarded as some of the greatest in adult animation. Some include Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Friendship Brothers, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and Rick and Morty, just to name a few. However, in the programming that makes up Adult Swim, I personally think that there is one show that stands out between all the others, and that show is Orel. Created by Dino Stamatopoulos, the show ran from 2005 to 2008 on Adult Swim. Originally, the series grew out of a pitch sitcom starring Iggy Pop, which never really came to fruition. By the claymation animation, Orel takes itself as a parody of classic claymation Christian programs, most specifically Davey and Goliath.
I'm gonna shoot you right between the eyes. God, you look like Goliath smells. Piece of shit, country asshole.
The series mainly parodies Protestant Catholicism and religious fundamentalists in general. The show revolves around the title character, Orel Puppington, an innocent Protestant 12-year-old who naively gets into disastrous altercations from simple messages. He lives in the fictional town of Morrilton, St. Soda with his 1950s-era nuclear Protestant family. Alcoholic father, Clay.
Now, let's go eat, kid.
Manipulative mother, Blaberta.
Didn't he just do this sermon 8 years ago?
Tell me about it. I can do this one in my sleep.
And static spoiled brother, Shapey.
No, Shapey! No!
At the beginning of the series, they mainly played out to be very cookie-cutter Americana family stereotypes, but as the series goes on, the characters are more fleshed out and shown their dark sides. Many of the side characters, such as Reverend Putty or Coach Fliegen, also feature dark themes that make them more memorable. Season 1 and a bit of Season 2 follows a very satirical and comedic but formulaic pattern of Orel mishearing a message from a sermon by Reverend Putty at church, which gets Orel to create havoc amongst the town. His father, Clay, finds him, disciplines him, and then teaches him a lesson about the subject in question. Even with that, they still manage to sneak in some continuity which the new viewers won't understand, which honestly makes it more refreshing to see stories connecting with no actual status quo. All of these events eventually add to what would happen at the end of the series. The end of Season 2 and the entire Season 3 are by far some of my favorite animated scenarios ever. The genre completely changes from comedy to drama and starts taking itself very seriously. I also love the fact that Season 3 doesn't even focus on Orel half the time, but the inhabitants in the town. We get to learn their own struggles and the events in which they contribute to where Orel and the rest of the town are led to at the end of the series. We learn that Orel's parents aren't who they are, with many themes of intolerance, abuse, alcoholism.
Your cup is always half empty. You should be more like your old man and look on the bright side of life.
Blight?
I didn't say bright. Bright means the opposite. It means sudden withering death.
And divorce ensuing.
Good afternoon.
Oh yeah, what's so afternoon about it?
Well, it's 4:30 p.m.
To summarize, the final season of Orel is definitely worth writing home about. Season 3 is based on the powerful Season 2 finale, Nature, from everyone's point of view. This simple honey trip that quickly goes down south affects everyone in the town and divides the family apart more than it already has. The animation is obviously a visual parody of Davey and Goliath, but it's not only the visual aspects which Orel exceeds at. The animation is beautifully done and definitely adds to the story. I don't know how these sequences can be replaced with real actors. Animation captures the raw emotion which feels real despite the claymation animation. Although people may automatically point to it as a Robot Chicken ripoff because of the animation and stigma of humor that'll obviously reach them with that statement, trust me, they do so much more with the animation that Robot Chicken will ever accomplish. I love the use of imagery that conveys a message of anxiety and depression. It really adds to the tension between Orel and the people of the town. One big example is the episode Grounded, where Orel is grounded from going to church for 1 month. He quickly falls into a state of insanity. He'll later put his life in danger to come closer to God. We really see the power of his insanity through these sequences, which is exemplified through the animation. A lot of the humor is created from the dilemmas that is created from the people of Morrilton. I like a very healthy dose of dark comedy, but also have some great one-liners from the characters that'll leave you surprised.
Bagaloma Kia! That doesn't sound very Protestant, Orel.
Well, at least it's not Catholic.
I just love how it has a balance between outlandish, twisted, dark humor and the ability to be very provocative. The comedy really settles you in before the mood starts changing, honestly for the better. A major aspect in the show is religious satire of fundamentalist Christianity. Despite what people will tell you, it doesn't bash Catholicism as a whole like something Family Guy would do, but bashes the conservative sides that practice it more as a social norm than genuine belief. The series is not afraid to tackle on the fact that many people practicing Christianity will discard many aspects of themselves. For example, the people of Moralton are quick to ignorantly pounce on any beliefs or denominations. As a Roman Catholic myself, I find it extremely enlightening to the fact that this show criticizes the hypocrisies many people in Catholicism end up doing. Moralton devolves from a very simple congregation to a very corrupt, divisive group of people. To this day, Catholicism has been very infamous for being very taboo, including themes of discrimination, rape, and pedophilia. One point that the show respectfully touches on is that religion is a good thing in moderation. In retrospect, Moral Orel definitely has a lot of interesting and intelligent things to say about Christianity. Moral Orel is one of the most beautifully told and animated series ever aired on Adult Swim. By the end of the series, you will be wanting more with the conclusion and the path that Orel eventually takes. If you are someone that will just pass it off as a edgy robot chicken clone, I highly encourage you to just take a second look, and hopefully you can agree with me. Moral Orel is a very dark and intellectual look at the actions of humans and the reasons for their actions. In summary, there is nothing like Moral Orel on Adult Swim. I guess you could say it is made in its own image.